Hi, I'm Allison Pryor, and I teach acrylic paintings for beginners on YouTube, step by step, and I also do them in real time so that you can follow along with me. So I will teach you all kinds of things like landscapes and seascapes and everything that you would need to know about acrylic painting for the beginner, and it'll get you started. And now, let's get started. Now the first colors that we are going to compare with the different brands is Ultramarine Blue. I have an Ultramarine Blue here in Artist Loft, and I have an Ultramarine Blue. Now there's many different brands. I only have a couple each. I will be getting more. Liquid X Basics, that's Ultramarine Blue. And I don't have any other Ultramarine Blue. I have closest to Ultramarine Blue in this one, Decor Art, but that's Peacock Blue, but we can compare those anyway. And just see what the difference is. I also have a Windsor Blue, so I'm trying to get as close as I can so you can decide what colors you would like to use. And once you get the colors that you want to use and you're happy with them, then you won't be out wasting and spending your money on a ton of different colors, and it can be very expensive. So let's take this one here, Peacock Blue, because you may not be able to get Ultramarine Blue. Maybe you can't find it. Maybe you can only buy the cheaper paints. So I'm going to compare what's closest that you could use for Ultramarine Blue, okay? So this is the, and look how it flows, really nice, beautiful color. Alright, now these may not have as much pigment in it as some of the more expensive student grade or professional grade paints. These are more like beginners or student grade. This one here is Liquid X Basics, and that one is Ultramarine Blue. And let's compare that color next to it. Alright, now that one's a bit darker, and you can see it's very thick, very nice, and much darker, but not too bad. Not too bad. If you had to use an Ultramarine Blue and you couldn't find it, then Peacock Blue or a nice deep blue with another brand. Then we have this one here, Artist Loft, and this one is Ultramarine Blue, and Artist Loft is a bit cheaper, and that's a nice blue. See, even though they're the same name, Ultramarine Blue, it doesn't mean that the colors are going to be the same. So Ultramarine Blue, kind of, I'm finding that one is nice, but it's kind of little transparent. But it's nice. It actually is basically the same color as the rest. So far Liquid X is thicker, and pigment seems to be more pigment in it. Okay, so and then we have the Galleria. Now I wish I had to have the golden, but I don't have that right now, but I will get it. I want to get all brands so that I can pick out the best ones, and then I will decide which ones I'm going to use forever. So this is the this Windsor Blue. Now this is not Ultramarine Blue, this is Windsor Blue. I just wanted to show it to you anyway. So it's pretty flowy. It's something like the Liquid X. Something like Liquid X there. But it's much darker. And it looks like it might have some green in it. So I wouldn't use Windsor Blue in place of Ultramarine Blue if I were you. Okay, I wouldn't, because it's way different, way different. So make sure you make note of that, okay? Because the Windsor Blue, now Galleria should have Ultramarine Blue. It was in a package. It came in a package, and I didn't see, and I thought Ultramarine Blue would be in it, but anyways, but you should be able to buy it separately. But yeah, don't use Windsor Blue in place of Ultramarine Blue. So at least this gives you an idea of what colors you can use. If you see videos that say, okay, Ultramarine Blue or Cobalt Blue, you know, and you're like, well, I don't even know what those colors look like. Maybe, you know, maybe you're not sure. Then you say, well, how do I know what brand to get? Because all the brands have different colors. So I'm hoping this will help you today. So the next one I'm going to try is Cobalt Blue. Just see what we can do with that one. So I only have two versions of Cobalt Blue. I have this one here. This one's acrylic Cobalt Blue, and it's the bottled. And let's see. Let's go down here. So that's Cobalt Blue. Now Cobalt Blue, if you probably couldn't get ultramarine, might be pretty close. Let's see. Let's just take that out and see. So Cobalt Blue, let's see. Actually, it's a little transparent. That's okay. But you know, that's pretty close to the Ultramarine Blue. So make notes of this, because if you can't find Ultramarine Blue or Cobalt Blue, say if you had it called for Cobalt, then you could probably use Ultramarine. So it's pretty close, actually. So I would say make a note of the different colors that you could use and you can't use, and to help you. And now I have the Artist Loft. I have Cobalt Blue. Okay, Cobalt. I want you to see me do this, because I don't want you to think that I'm just putting any old paints on there, because it is a video, and I want to make sure everything is correct. So there is Cobalt Blue. Now that Cobalt Blue in the Artist Loft is very light. It's light, isn't it? So it's not very, it wouldn't compare. No, it's very light, way different. So it wouldn't be able to compare to your Ultramarine Blue if you need Ultramarine Blue. If you need Ultramarine Blue, Cobalt Blue in a brand like this would be better. Just your bottled paints. So yeah, so you don't want to waste money trying to get, and then you try to do the colors that you see in the video, and then it's way different, and you're like, how come my painting is not coming out right? Now unfortunately I only have one CAD Red. CAD Red is what I use mostly in my videos. Most people use in their videos, not everybody, but it's pretty popular. And I'm going to see if I can find a color that might match up with that for you. But this is a CAD Red in Galleria. Now if you bought another brand CAD Red, it might be a little different, right? You don't know, like we just saw. So there's a CAD Red in Galleria, right? Galleria. And that's a nice red, nice and bright. Very nice. Okay, so that's a nice one. I'm going to look for, let's have a look and compare this one. Maybe if you found a bright red in some other brand. Let's see what that looks like compared to it. So let's see. Oh, that's not bad. Look. So in another one, it's not bad. That's a bright red. So a bright red compared to the CAD Red is pretty good. There we go. And I also have another one here in Dollar, I should say, and Rowney, and that's a brilliant red. Let's compare that one. So this is a good way to figure out if they're looking for these popular colors and you only have certain colors on you, then at least you'll know how, you know, that it's really close. So this brilliant red is pretty, just look at that. So now you got three reds that match. So if you get a video that says CAD Red, then you know that if you have a bright red or a brilliant red, you know, so you can compare and it will work for you. Now crimson red you'll hear in a lot of videos. Crimson red, I only have one. So I'm going to compare that with other brands of different colors. See if we can match up something. So here's your crimson red. Now that crimson red is nice and deep, isn't it? That's a nice color red. But the thing is, if you don't have crimson red, what are you going to use instead? Oh, that rhymes. So crimson red is really pretty. Nice color. So what do we got to compare that to? I don't think we have much of anything to compare it to, really. Let's see. No. I don't have anything else to compare it to, but you can certainly look around your paints and see if you can match up that color. See if you can match up that color. It was shadow. I'm trying to get rid of that for you. But there's the color, okay? Crimson red. So it is way different than any of the other reds. The CAD reds, the bright reds, okay? So you wouldn't be able to replace CAD red with crimson red. Okay, so the next one is yellows, okay? Because what I'm doing right here is the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. So we're going to compare those, all right? So I have this one here. It's called Perfect Note. And these are cheaper paints, and I'm going to see what these are like. So, yellow ochre. Make sure you can see everything. So there's your yellow ochre in the, we'll call it the cheaper paint. And it's Perfect Note. Some of these cheaper paints work very well, actually. So there's your yellow ochre, kind of a greenish color, doesn't it? I'll clean my brush better than that, so you can see it. Don't want to mix any red in it, that would be off. So let's go this way. So it's kind of a nice color. It's a yellow ochre. It's got a kind of a greenish look to it. Good. I'm going to show you another video how to mix these colors with the colors that you have around. So if you don't have yellow ochre, I can show you how to take the yellow that you already have there and add other colors to it to make your yellow ochre. So I'll show you how to mix your own paints to get the ones that are pretty popular. I'll do that in another video. So here is yellow ochre in... This is Dollar and Rowney, and this is yellow ochre in the big tube. Nice and thick. Some of these are more flowing. This is yellow ochre in Dollar and Rowney. Okay. And that, we'll clean my brush. And you can see that one is much lighter. See? That's lighter than the other one. See that? And thicker. The other one's a little more transparent. See that the more expensive your paints and the brand names, the pigments, there's more pigment in your paints, and that way you get it thicker and it's a much better coverage and more brilliant. So this is yellow ochre in the Artist Loft, and this one, we'll see now what that looks like. Alright. That one's about the same as the this one here, which is the Dollar and Rowney. Okay, that's the same as the Dollar and Rowney, which shows that this could be a good substitute brand. Yeah, nice. Okay, that's a good one. Like I said, this one over here is darker, so you can still use it. But if you have either of those brands, then they will match. So they're pretty good. So that's the Artist Loft and the Dollar and Rowney, and the one that is a bit darker, you can still use it, it's still good, but Perfect Note, it just happens to be a little darker. So like I said, you can have yellow ochre, all these colors, and different brands actually have, the colors are different. Even though it's the same one, yellow ochre or ultramarine blue or CAD red, CAD yellow, right? So I have here the CAD yellow in the Galleria. Okay, the Galleria CAD yellow. Look how nice and bright that is. Nice. So that one is nice. So let's see, I only have one CAD yellow here. So let's see if we can match it up with something in case you don't have CAD yellow. See how nice and bright that is. Look, beautiful. So that's really bright. So I'm thinking that if you find a bright yellow, it might match. Let's try, I don't know if this one will match. This is the Dollar and Rowney medium yellow, so I don't think that's going to match. I doubt it. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's have a look. I don't think that's going to... See, come on. Boop. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all, actually. Pretty good. But a little bit darker. Okay, it's a little bit darker. So that yellow there is just a tad bit darker, but it's not a bad match, a medium yellow. I also have a lemon yellow. I don't think that's because the lemon yellow has the green in it, so we won't even compare that one. I have, let's see, I have, that one's way too bright. I think that one is lemon yellow also. Yep, 2 lemon yellows. We can compare those in a second. Let's see, I got some of these paints here. Deco art, but I'm looking at the bottle, even just looking at it is not matching up, but I can prove it to you. Let's try this bright yellow. Bright yellow, Deco art. Let's try that just for the heck of it. Alright, not bad, a little too bright. See, you can see the difference in color. So for your CAD yellow, it's going to be hard to, if somebody asks for CAD yellow, if you got a medium yellow, that should work. A medium yellow would work better than the bright, really bright yellows and lemon yellows, okay? So hopefully that's a help. It's not bad, but like I said, it's, you can see the consistency is way different too. But it's nice. I love all paints anyway. You know, a lot of people, they talk about expensive paints, you know, and if you don't have an expensive paint, you're not going to get a good painting and all this kind of stuff. Well, you know something, I've used all kinds of paints over the years, and I found that I got pretty good paintings out of everything that I had there. So if you want to have really expensive paints and thicker and professional grade paints, go for it. If you're practicing, you're new and you don't have a big budget, any of these paints, even the cheaper ones, are pretty good, I must say, and you can certainly mix and match your paints and come up with some really nice colors. And if it's too transparent, if the paints don't have much pigment in them, all you got to do is keep layering the same color. You do one layer, let it dry, and then you do another layer and let it dry, and you keep layering until you get the thick, beautiful, brilliant color that you're looking for. Now I have burnt umber, and because you've heard these names of paints before, you probably heard them a lot, and you're like, I don't have those paints, and then you go out and try and buy them, and they're very expensive. So I'm just showing you different brands and showing you different. So Winsor & Newton has burnt umber, and we will see what that looks like. All right. So here's your burnt umber. Oh, nice and thick. Nice. All right, and that's nice. And let's see now how that flows here. Lovely, nice and thick and nice coverage. That's a nice burnt umber. Okay, I have a burnt umber in this paint here, which is, it's like a craft paint, you know, you could use it for paintings or for any crafts, and I've been using them a lot. I enjoy them because I find they're easy to use and they flow good. You don't need a lot of water or anything, but still they flow really good. It says burnt umber here. Now as you can see, and you compare the burnt umbers, the burnt umber in the Galleria is a little darker, okay? So, and the one here is a little lighter. So if I had another burnt umber to compare, let's see what have I got. I think I have one right here. Yes, I do, in Perfect Note. So Perfect Note, you can try all the different brands that you have there and just put them side by side and see how they look. Perfect Note's nice color. Actually, the Perfect Note is closer to the color of the Galleria. See that? See? So that one there is closer to the Galleria. The one in the middle that's the bottle one. That one is not quite as dark. Oh yeah, that one's good. Nice. So the Perfect Note was good. And let's see if I got anything else here. Let's see. I have a raw umber here. Let's see what that looks like compared to it, in case you don't have burnt umber but you have raw umber. Now raw umber is darker. It's darker than the burnt umber. So you may not be able to use that in your paints. If it requests burnt umber, you probably won't be able to use a raw umber. You could if you wanted to, but it'll come out much darker. It's almost black, right? So just make note of that. So we can, you know, like I said, I'm going to show you a video where you can make your own burnt umber and your own different colors that you don't have, okay? And maybe in the comment section you can ask me, how do I mix yellow ochre or something like that, because I'm not sure what colors you guys out there have. But I would love to know what colors you have, and you can make a little list for me and send it in an email, and then I can help you pick out the best colors. So hopefully that will be a help. So burnt umber, and as you can see, is a nice color. I think it has a bit of yellows in it and stuff. So I'll get all that for you. Now let's see what else we got. Now I have one burnt sienna here, and burnt sienna in the Perfect Note. Burnt sienna. It's not bad. It's close to burnt umber. Pretty close to the burnt umber. So burnt, look, it's pretty close, very close. Burnt sienna, right? So some of these you certainly can, if they ask for one color and you know what colors match up, once you know the colors that match up and can work with the colors that the videos are asking for or the instructional books are asking for, then you'll know how to substitute colors. So let's try the greens this time. Now the green I have in the Galleria, I have phthalo green, okay? So let's see what the phthalo green looks like. Alright, get that shadow out of there. It's not easy being me. Alright. Shadow. Alright, so that's a nice green. That's a phthalo green, okay? Phthalo. You probably have heard that before too in some of the videos. I'm using phthalo green. You probably hear him saying. So phthalo green's kind of bluish, greenish. Anyway, it's a nice green actually. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to match that up with other greens. If you don't have phthalo green, I have a hunter green here in the decor art, and let's see what that compares to. That's a bit too light. Okay, so, but like I said, I'm going to show you how to match them up better by mixing other colors with that to get that color. Okay, to get phthalo green, I'll show you what to add to it. So don't use hunter green to get the phthalo green. Phthalo green and sap green might match because sap green is pretty close. Let's try the sap green. Let's see. I got that in this smaller tube here. And that one, sap green, no, that one is not dark enough. So that sap green in this Perfect Note is too light, okay? But it's a really nice green, but it's not the sap green that I'm used to. Alright, it's too light. But it is a very nice color. So I got Hooker's green. Hooker's green, I'm pretty sure, is pretty close to the... Now, the Hooker's green's a bit dark. So, but it is closer to the sap green, alright? Yes, it's almost exactly the same. There we go. This one and this one. So, the sap green in the Artist Loft is it's almost exactly the same. Now, the pigments are not the same. There's more pigment in the Galleria. But they're exactly the same color. So, you could substitute another brand as long as it's pretty close to the color. So by knowing these things, it'll help save you money, because you'll be out buying these different brands and they won't match up with what you're trying to accomplish. So if you have a sap green, if you ask for a sap green and you don't have the sap green in Galleria, then you should be able to get a sap green in another brand that will match, but it has to be the same color, nice and dark, because as you can see, all these different brands are different, right? This one here is actually a sap green, but look how light it is. See, that's that one here. It says sap green on it. See? But it's too light. So, so you don't have to go out and buy all these paints. What you have to do is figure out, if you don't have a sap green, you have to figure out what colors you can put together to make a sap green, and we can do that in another video. So I just want to show you one more time the burnt siennas. I found another burnt sienna. This one is in the Artist Loft, and this one in the burnt sienna is Perfect Note. Now I just want to show you the difference, and there's a big difference in the colors of these two. So I already showed you this one, right? See how dark it is? But look at this burnt sienna. It's, look, way different. See? So that's, you know, so you can have videos that say, or books that say I'm using burnt sienna, but they're so different depending on the brands. So this is something that we'll go over again to save you time and money and frustration. So that's about it for now. So the only thing I can tell you to do is take a note of the colors that you have on hand. Some of you may have a lot, and some of you might only have a few. As long as you got your primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and the extras would be brown and green, because you can make all your colors from red, yellow, and blue, but if you want to have brown and green on hand, and your white and black. So as long as you got those colors, but it would be nice to know if you got any of those popular colors that the professional artists use, like the Ultramarine Blues and the Ultramarines and the Cobats and Crimson Red and Sap Green and Burnt Umber, Burnt Sienna, Lemon Yellow, Yellow Ochre. You know, all these colors you will hear on the videos, and you're saying, I don't have those. So make a list of what you have, and then look up, if you can, look up the colors and see if you can match the colors that you have there with an ultramarine blue. If you don't have one there, just try to match up one of your darker blues to see, and then you'll know that you can actually use colors close to that. So I hope this video helped you, and I hope you'll understand more about colors and different brands and different prices and different pigments. Like I say, it's a bit of work to finding out what works best, but you will get it, and hopefully this video helped you, and I'll see you in the next video. Signing out from Allison Pryor. Bye.